All right. You might not have been looking, but you found the best fantasy show on the internet. You got Salt and Pepper. You got Russell Maven, Temple, Texas. Best friend Jay Thompson, Killeen, Texas. And we ready to go with fantasy game time.
It's game time, so let's go. Let's go. It's game time. We sorry for the delay. You know, we kind of late this week, so hopefully you can watch and get your stuff squared away.
Life happens.
There you go. Yeah, so y'all know we actually do stuff through the week, and if y'all didn't know that, we don't just sit up here and talk fantasy all week.
The weather's been on top of him for 2 weeks.
Right, y'all noticing the coughing.
Yeah, he's a daggum, he's a man, so he don't go to no doctor, and I got 8 kids and 2 sets of multiples, and so it's just kind of like, teaching school and working at a warehouse and church and everything. It's just life, man. It's just how it goes. So we're gonna do the best we can with what we got. Hopefully we can get this up on the internet where you can at least use it a little bit tomorrow. And speaking of the internet, you can grab us at fantasy_gametime on Twitter and Fantasy1 Game Time on YouTube. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way, if we do go late, which we're going to try to fix that, we're going to try to go earlier in the week next week. Just kind of announcement wise, we're going to try to do it earlier in the week. That way, we can catch you for the Thursday game. Maybe can help you out with that. Also, it'll just give you more time. Instead of having to post it on a Friday or Friday night late or a Saturday, you'll have a few days to kind of watch it to be ready to go for the weekend. And just make sure that when you do watch, that you just listen to Jay.
Oh, no, I don't know about all that, but I guess you got time to decipher what you want to believe and what you don't want to believe, so you won't just go.
You'll figure out quickly who you want to trust. I promise. I can promise you. All right. Well, we're going to start with our money in the bank. We got one person from each position, offensive position, that is going to be money in the bank this week. So let's start with quarterback. Who's your money in the bank?
Well, I got to start off with an apology. I'm being apologizing all this week, so I'll let you know. So this week, money in the bank. I mean, that's a good feeling to have some money in the bank. And
what's it like?
Man, I mean, hopefully we can let them know because I'm going with Deshaun Watson, and I gave this guy. Yeah,
I thought you didn't like black quarterbacks.
But you know what? You see, that's the thing. It's not about them being black. It's about them running.
Oh,
that's the part I don't like. Okay. Yeah, the running quarterback. They just a lot of them have to be black. A lot of them happen to be black. Steve, but see, I don't mind you running when it presents itself, but not it being what you do. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see the run against the Vikings in '88? He was running over people like he was a fullback.
But it wasn't like it was he's designed to run the ball. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Ask Clemson about that. I mean, you can have a running quarterback, but you can't just have that be all pretty much what you do, a big part. Okay, I want to know what the percentage of that I would like, but it's sometimes Brady take off and slide and get 3 yards for a first down.
Run, get your first down and slide. You're okay with.
Right, because man, you can just hinder a franchise with one hit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important to me. So one thing about Deshaun Watson, after watching him and apologizing to him, I mean, one day he's gonna watch this and he's gonna see.
I'm sure he will.
Right, he would accept my apology. He could care less, but. One thing I see about him, we talked about how the coach actually designed some plays that he's used to and that he's comfortable with. Yeah, but he buys time in the pocket. I saw that a lot last week, that he actually buys time and allow him to throw the ball downfield.
Hopkins and Allen were both commenting on, man, it's easy to get open when you have 5 seconds. Crap, I can come up with something by then.
Yeah, so that's one reason why he's money in the bank. He's the way they do the offense with him, and he really buys time. And he's not flustered when somebody comes free. I saw that a couple of times, and he was like, okay, well, I just do this and I do that. And
that's part of that intangible crap that we talked about all the time with Dak, and that kind of he presented.
I was going to talk about that later.
Okay.
About him and Dak and the comparisons. But so as a quarterback, I got Watson and how are we doing again? Each position?
We're gonna go with your money in the bank, and then tell me the other 3 quarterbacks that you like too. But I want to get my money in the bank too.
Okay, and you want some money in the bank? Go ahead, man.
Can I get a little bit of money? Crap! I got 8 kids, 2 in college, 5 in daycare, 3 in diapers. Can I get $1? I mean, come on.
It depends on what you say. If we go give you some.
Okay, well, let me tell you what I got. I got Alex Smith versus Pittsburgh.
No money. No, go ahead, man. Sorry.
Dadgum. He's had 3 40-point games already out of 5. And it's just like, all of a sudden, this guy is money in the bank. I mean, he's like, hey, here's 40 points. You get 40 points, and you get 40 points. I mean, so this guy is, and they kind of been, not saying, Kareem Hunt hasn't been doing well, but he had 2 20-point games after 3 really big games. So they're kind of figuring other things out that they can do.
And see, I heard something that today about Alex Smith. Competition all of a sudden brings on the best.
You heard that?
Yeah, man.
From somebody else besides the bald guy sitting next to you?
Yeah. Competition, man. It's like before them being conservative, it's like, okay, I can't really, live my life this way this year.
You can try.
Yeah, but if I know I'm trying to get paid next year or go on to other things or whatever the future holds for him, but yeah, he has opened it up, and I think I got an apology to him later in the year too in this podcast.
All right.
So,
what other quarterbacks do you like for Week 6?
All right. So my other 3 quarterbacks for Week 6 are Jameis Winston at the Cardinals, and one of my main reasons is I don't understand why the Cardinals secondary is playing so bad because they have names in a secondary, but it's been a couple of games where they just been getting torched. I don't know if it's a couple of people in their secondary that defenses are going against because I haven't watched it that much.
Right.
I just know that it's against scored.
I know it ain't on 21.
Right. So where is it coming? So because the Eagles went off on them, and there was a couple other games where it's like the game was over quick.
Maybe, maybe they're just like leaning so much on Pat that it's kind of the rest of it kind of falls apart. Because for years,
Honey Badger back there, so it's like, where is all this?
Yeah, but he roams around the line of scrimmage a little bit. So I get what you're saying. They got 2 out of 4 that are awesome.
Right.
But a lot of times there's 5 on the field or 6 on the field.
So I like Winston this week at the Cardinals. I like Rivers at the Raiders. Rivers is one of those. I want to say, man, at least 5 years now, I've been trying to say, don't get him.
He just doesn't have it.
Right, but then every year he's up there in fantasy stats. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So it don't really matter if the team win or not. It's the fantasy stats, in the fantasy world. So I really see him having a good week. I mean, he's already been having it. So
he's one of those people. It's like, when is this guy going to not be good? I'm sick of him.
Right, because more and more get taken from him.
Right.
But he keeps at it. Okay, we have some technical difficulties.
Well, we'll be all right. Don't worry about it, man.
Yeah, with the live people.
It'll be all right. It ain't no big deal.
All right, so my other...
We'll make it happen.
All right, is I'm going to go with Big Ben this week. And for reasons that you got to have a bounce back game.
He doesn't have to.
Yeah, I mean, the elite ones do, though. Right? The great ones don't do it twice. They do
before they retire, yes. But once you start mentioning retirement, you have retired in my mind. And so that, to me...
He's done?
He was done with this offseason. He said, well, I don't know if I'm going to come back or not. Okay, you're done.
Man, you can't do that in football, huh?
Man. Yeah, you got to put your heart in it, man.
Well, I just feel like he's going to have a bounce back game. And
maybe he will.
And it's not like he's... it's the Raiders, and they've been giving up a lot of points. So, and
Jared.
He still had fantasy. Well, he still had the yardage last week. He just had those 5 picks. So, it's not like
I'm throwing for a lot of yards. I'm just throwing it to the other team.
So maybe it's not all about his the interceptions. Once that come down, it'll be turned into touchdowns. So
maybe
it's not like he had a bad game and threw for 90 yards. so he can play quarterback. So I like that.
He probably hasn't forgotten. But so write this down. It's different. It's different. Yes, it's you gotta have a special set of skills to be able to do it in the NFL.
So who you like this week at quarterback?
I'm gonna like. There's this black guy named Deshaun Watson. I like this cat. He's had 2 straight 50 burgers he didn't put on people. So I think I guess he's going to score some points or something in fantasy football. The running that you're talking about that you're not a big fan of, man, that eats up points so quick in fantasy.
Right, when a quarterback do it.
Yeah, when a quarterback does it, it's like crap, man. Now you're adding, real rushing yards. It's like having a quarterback and a running back. So I love him this week. I like Kirk Cousins versus San Francisco. San Francisco's having to travel all the way across the coast. Plus, Cousins is playing in front of his old mentor, Kyle Shanahan, his old offensive coordinator. I think he's just going to kind of be like he wants to really show him, look, you didn't make me. I'm good anyways.
Oh, man,
yeah.
I mean, make him proud that you did
that too. That too. But I mean, it's always a respect thing with guys. I want you to respect my game, even if you're not calling the plays. I want you to see that I can play. Even though yes, you did help me, and I want to show you what you did. But at the same time, I want to show you I ain't no punk without you either.
And maybe next year we can hook back up.
Because these guys apparently don't want me, even though I throw for 4,000 yards a year and I win football games and I don't turn it over. So, yeah, these morons. You got to get rid of this guy.
For the old and the new, huh?
Yeah. He's got to make more. He's probably going to have a record for as much money as he makes on a franchise tag. There's never going to be anybody to be able to touch that.
And nobody knows why the Redskins won't invest in him.
No.
They invest in money, but this time...
Yeah.
This I don't know, maybe he's a jerk on campus or on
You like that? Do you like that, Jay?
So I don't know, maybe it's something deeper that we don't know about. So those are the quarterbacks.
No, I got one more. I got Phillip Rivers at the Raiders. So we're agreeing on two of them. So that's good. So Phillip, 40 attempts per game, almost every game.
Wow.
Something good's going to happen, I can promise you. And he's had 5 touchdowns in the last 2 games. So, like he said, man, he's just kind of one of those people you can just put in the lineup and be like, you'll be all right, man. Don't worry about it. Get you 30.
Right. There you go. That's that number. Yeah, 30.
Yeah.
Who cares how it looks in the beginning?
He reminds me right now of the old Eli Manning. Eli Manning used to score within about 5 points. At the end of the year, you look at his total. It's almost it's like the exact same guy every year. It's almost like the look on his face. It's the exact same look. You get the exact same number of points, and that's kind of how he was. But to me, I think Phillip Rivers is kind of that guy now. He's a little older. They can run it, but he can also flick it in the flat there to Melvin Gordon and loving it. So, all right, money in the bank at running back. Talk to me. Woo! Yeah. This is a reach. This is a reach. Get ready. Y'all sit down before you get ready for this one.
I'm gonna go with Kareem Hunt, man, as money in the bank. Yeah, man. But these are the reasons. Here's the reasons. They're playing the Steelers. And I know that sounds like blasphemy to say that, but the Steelers defense.
Yeah.
Right, but they tripping. The Steelers be tripping. I mean, Fournette just gashed them last week.
Just a little bit.
Right. And then I know what the Bears just made
ran all over them.
So they having a problem with their run defense. So maybe that's why Timmons went to their practice like, you know what, I'm not leaving. Y'all need me bad. I'm staying here. I don't know. But that defense, they rush defense.
He's trying to get that W, Jay.
And he realized if I leave, y'all not gonna get too many W's. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this W. But and it's not much about Hunt. We know what he's doing, and he's greatness right now. But the Steelers' defense is tripping, and
you can't be tripping and avoid money in the bank. I'm sorry, that's just how it is.
Hey, come in with this talent that's going to be out there. So my money in the bank is Hunt, man. I mean, he's already money in the bank, but. So we're going to deposit some more with him.
So you're taking a rookie.
And you know what? This podcast for me got a rookie theme to it. So, and a young person theme. So, yeah, Hunt. Yeah.
He's coming around.
Yeah.
He's coming around.
True. He's
coming around. He's listening to the old guy, man. He's listening to the ball man.
So, money in the bank is Hunt and my other.
You took a rookie?
Oh, all right.
You took a rookie? Can I have a rookie?
Go ahead, man.
May I have a rookie?
Help yourself.
Okay. I'm going to take Leonard Fournette. And it's not because he got 180 yards last week, because he got about 100 of them on one play. But the reason I'm taking it is because he scored 20 one week, 30 the next week, and 40 the next week. So I'm thinking maybe he's going to score 50. I mean, I can spot a trend. I can look at some numbers and be able to tell. And he's had 24 plus carries for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that means, you know what you were talking about earlier in the week. It's like earlier in the year. Like, man, do they understand how this works? Like, you don't have to give Chris Ivory anything. And so, but I think they kind of figured that out.
No rules that say Chris Ivory got to get 5 carries.
Well, he makes $5 million a year. Well, crap. I mean, Tony Romo made $20 million last year. He didn't play at all. So so I think Fournette's gonna hit it up pretty big here against the Rams, and once again at home, coast to coast, taking Fournette.
And I mean, I like Fournette too. It's just I gave some props to the Rams defense. Not going and looking how good they're doing, but I just kind of sided on that.
They got a good coordinator. They got a lot of talent. They got a lot of resources. At some point, they're going to figure it out.
Well, they did pretty good against the Seahawks.
But the Seahawks offense has been a mess this year too. All right, what else you like at running back?
All right. I'm going with Murray versus the Colts.
I had to start this guy this week, man. Come on, bro. Just for Jay. Just to make Jay right. Don't worry about me. It's not about my team, but please make Jay right.
But the reason why I picked him because he's one of those guys that 2 or 3 weeks he just goes off. Like he just oh my goodness.
Make it this week.
Right. And I think this is going to be one of those weeks that they just going to go with him, going to feed him, and there's no rules that say that what's my man name?
Henry.
Henry got to get into carries.
Here's the thing about Tennessee that has over the last year ticked me off as a DeMarco Murray owner. Murray will run the ball between the 20s all the way. Get down inside the 10. Right. Do we have number 22, please? DeMarco, can you just go to the sideline? Let's get 22 in here. And he first play, touchdown. I'm like, could have been Murray.
Hey, they get tired of getting hit, and then you bring somebody even bigger in, and then you just bolt over and get touchdown.
Yeah.
So I just think, it's prime time. I think they're playing Monday night. So I like Murray versus the Colts. And they ain't like the Colts stopping nobody, so.
Are you saying that the Colts don't draft well on defense?
They haven't for a minute. I mean, we keep going back to Freeney. I mean, that's
Malik Hooker is pretty good though. 3 interceptions already. No joke.
My other however you want to pronounce this, Camaro.
Camaro is right.
Camaro, like a Camaro. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I can remember.
You've been running like a Camaro too.
Versus the Lions, and because the Lions not really stopping anybody, and
which is weird.
Yeah, it's weird, and I know Haloti Nada. I don't know if he's playing, but he's one of those stopgaps in the middle.
So they've been doing nada on stopping the run.
You thought of that all that quick?
It took like 2 seconds, man.
And Peterson gone, so we ain't even got to do what we've been talking about already. Give him 5 carries. We don't have to worry about that now. He's not even here. So
the thing about Kamara is he hasn't been eating up a lot of carries. He's been catching the ball a lot. They're kind of using him like they were using Sproles a few years ago. Remember how Sproles was like a top 10 running back? Right. And you're like, how is this guy a top 10 running back?
Sproles and
Pierre Garcon or Pierre Thomas?
Pierre Thomas, yeah.
No, but
Reggie Bush.
Yeah, I mean, but it was like, but that was their guy. They had Sproles back there, and you could draft him in the 5th or 6th round, but he'd finish in the top 10 every year.
Right. But I just think now he might get more carries. It might be more.
I hope so, because that'll make him more valuable.
Right. So, so I say Kamara.
Oh my gosh.
You just looked?
Yes.
I'm going with Adrian Peterson this week. Adrian Peterson. You got to listen. He doesn't listen. You got to justify the trade, so he's going to get the carries at least this week.
He didn't even know the offense.
Right. Running back, I mean, you don't need to know the offense. Just run the ball. You get ball, you run. That's all he knows. So
and miss a blitz pickup and see how much you just run the ball.
I mean, he knows enough of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's your last chance, man. Peterson. Don't make me look bad. It's your last chance.
All this talk about young people, and then what does he do when he gets to running back?
Hey, but look,
the youngest man's position.
But then they trade. I mean, they got rid of Chris Johnson to get somebody older than him. I think it was they were talking about. But man, you seen the movie Major League? I mean,
yeah.
Okay. Remember the big black dude? He's like,
Serrano.
Yeah, Bonjour, I believe in you. If you don't do it this time, you know, yeah.
Forget you, man. I'll do it myself.
So Peterson, you do it this time. If you don't, forget you, man. I'm going over to the younger guys. So Peterson, this is your last chance. I'm calling this last chance you for Peterson. Show me something.
Let me just say this right now. He's gonna have to take Joe Boo the hat off the bats, and he's gonna have to get rid of Joe Boo because Adrian Peterson not gonna do nothing. I'm calling it right now.
All right, man. So what you got for running back? So I can talk about your stuff. What you got? Oh, I'm gonna hit you with this first one right off the bat.
Here we go. I got Devontae Freeman versus the Miami Dolphins.
Okay, explain yourself, sir.
Okay, he's had a touchdown in every game. He gets 20 touches almost every single game, some kind of way. Atlanta's still figuring it out on offense, but that's about the only guy that's been consistent for them. He's been their guy.
Okay, you ready?
Go ahead.
Mr. Stat Guy, have you looked at Miami rush defense? Or does it matter? I mean, you're a stat guy.
Hey, they're on the road. They're in Atlanta.
We got Indomicon.
I love that guy, man. I wish we had Indomicon. I don't have enough money for Indomicon.
Dog, he pushed Cashel last week in the game, man. I'm telling you, I thought he was gonna leave the stadium, man. He pushed that dude so hard, but it was legal, so they couldn't throw the flag. They were
can we charge him with domestic abuse or something? I mean, what can we charge him with? I mean,
oh man. So okay, I can't argue, but the only thing is, because I wanted to do that too, but Miami rush defense. That's why one of my bads is Murray last week, because we actually did good against the Tennessee run game. So
all right, so we'll see on that one. Right. Jay's riding or dying with his Dolphins. Okay, so we'll see what happens. The defense, anyway. I'm gonna take Todd Gurley at Jacksonville. They are 25th amongst defenses against running backs.
Oh, so you checked their defense, but you wouldn't check Miami's.
I just didn't care about the Dolphins. I didn't care at all, man. And I think last week he got 8 points, and I think he's gonna be like, "Hey, man, I don't be getting 8 points." So I think he's gonna bust out and do a little damage on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville Jaguars in our circle has been getting a little bit of love for their defense, and all these people saying the Cowboys should have drafted Jalen Ramsey ahead of Ezekiel Elliott and all that kind of stuff. So
that's gonna always be there, huh?
Oh, it's kind of like Leaf and Manning. Who do you think had the better career? One of them's been in and out of prison, man. Crap,
He coached high school somewhere, isn't he?
I don't know. No, he's not speaking. Did you watch the 30 for 30 or whatever it was on him?
Ryan Lee?
Yeah, fascinating. I don't know if it's a 30 for 30, but it was fascinating. I still got it on DVR. I'll show it to you. Okay. And my other one is Chris Thompson versus San Francisco, because I don't know. He's not even the starter. I'm taking him for a pick. But he's had a touchdown in 3 of the 4 games, and he's kind of been under control for the last couple of weeks. So I'm just taking a it's about time, kind of thing. He's a talented kid. I love the guys with the high knee lift. I mean, I love the Eric Dickerson, the Roger Craig. Anybody that's got the good high knee lift, I'm a big fan. It's one of the reasons I drafted Joe Mixon. So yeah, I love it. So yeah, going with Chris Thompson against San Francisco once again, coast to coast. So we'll kind of see what happens. And plus, they cut Navarro Bowman. They're 0-5. They cut their best player. Hey, listen, man, you're the best guy we got.
People.
We're losing every game, and you're the best one we got. So obviously, you're not making a difference. So we're gonna have to let you go, my man.
What we try to do with the draft next year? You keep tackling.
Yeah.
Dog it, man.
How are we supposed to draft the USC quarterback if you keep tackling everybody?
And it was quick. It was we're
gonna try to trade him. Never mind. He's just we couldn't find anybody. Well, it's only 10 minutes.
Did they explain that? Now you can't. Once the season starts, the money part.
When you're 0-5, nobody cares. You cut your best player. Okay. Whatever.
You know what? He better not go to New England either. You know what I'm saying?
No, he needs to go to Dallas. Have you seen our run defense? We're putting people in the Hall of Fame.
But hey, maybe the Steelers. Man, they got linebackers though.
If they've got anything, they got linebackers.
So we'll see where he goes. All right.
All right. So, what receiver is money in the bank for you?
Money in the bank this week is Demarius Thomas. Did you change this? No, you don't look at myself. Okay, his name looked like it's spelled right.
I changed it.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I started fixing some of his grammatical errors during the week. Like, what the heck, man? South Carolina bullcrap, you know?
I put it, but I just sounded it out, and like I don't recognize it when I look at it. You know, it's my own language.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks right. So I'm like,
Did
somebody change this?
You got it, man. You got to work on Jay sometime, man. You know, some of the stuff I caught some other things as I'm looking here, like, man, see, I got to mess around and go fix that later.
Demarius Thomas versus the Giants. They got the cornerback out, DRC.
What is his deal?
They're not talking much about it. Like he just had an issue with the coach.
It's like a personal issue or something. And
he got
out here.
But see,
like, how old are you?
No, but look, now I talked about Timmons and people are saying that's what happened with him. He didn't like that he might not have been in on certain plays and
not being used in such and
certain
such a way. Packages.
There you go. Certain packages. So he upset and they pout and you know what I'm saying. So I mean, maybe that's happening more than we realize when it comes to you know, sometimes we look at them as grown men, but they still. I mean,
they're young men.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And
he's not that young.
Right, but I mean, he's under 30, right?
I don't know. He's pushing it if he is.
But where was your mind at 30? You know what I'm saying?
Man, I don't remember. Been too long. 13 years ago.
You know, that's all they know, and then you take that from them, and they just don't know how to react. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, you watch Hard Knocks, you see some of these guys throw a fit like, "I'm leaving camp." Why?
Right.
I wasn't in there on the practice and such a. I'm like,
I didn't get my 5 snaps.
Bro, you are getting $1 million to run down the field.
Right. So that's why I like Demarius this week. He's out and I mean he's good anyway. And the Giants are just, man, when you want to talk about a reeling team that I don't think is that bad. They just
I know. I mean, I just think they had some bad luck, man. Right. I mean, I've never seen any team lose 4 people at one position in a game, and 3 of them for the year.
Right.
Like literally, they were pulling people out of the stands at the end of that game.
So if
is he wearing a 13 jersey?
Right. Hey, if you're a receiver out there and you didn't get the call and they lost 4,
suck. And it's over. It's over. If the Giants didn't call you this week, the dream is over.
So T.O., if they didn't call you, man, I'm sorry. You just hope for the Hall of Fame, man, because your playing career is over if they didn't call you this week. So who was money in the bank for you, man?
Man, I tell you who it's been. DeAndre Hopkins. Nuke. Goodness gracious. This guy, I felt bad for the cat I was playing in the UFC last week because I already had, that was you. Yeah, I forgot. Because at the end of the game, man, the game was over, but this guy was just scoring touchdowns.
I know, right? It was like hey, first quarter was like 0. I'm like, man, is this dude playing? Did he get hurt? What happened? Because he had 0 for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden
he had 40.
Yeah, it's like Jay, you can go to bed now.
Yeah.
You lost.
Your defensive lineman is not going to cover.
Hey, all of a sudden you stopped texting me, so I figured, okay, this is not good. When it's close, we talking. When you blew me out, you let me slide.
There was nothing.
You didn't want to rub it in too much. I appreciate that. Man.
Yeah. But man, he is. I mean, they're at home, and they're actually going against a team that's pretty good against the pass. They got rid of slow Joe Hayden, so now they're pretty good against the pass. But this guy's leading the league in targets, and now Fuller's acting a fool on the other side. So now you got who would we like to score here? You know, so I'm a big believer in DeAndre Hopkins. I'm really glad I made that trade. I got him for 3 years. So
you made the trade, or did some bum come to you with the trade?
Oh, there was some idiot that was in my league that he called me up. Hey man, how about DeAndre Hopkins for Allen Robinson? And I was like, all right, that's fine. Fine, whatever. You can have him.
So don't say I ain't never gave you nothing, man.
Man, bake me a cake. I know.
But
all right, what receivers are also going to score for you?
All right, news flash. I'm going with Hopkins too. He didn't make my money in the bank, but he's one of my top receivers this week. He just makes it look effortless. You know, he had, I think it was the first touchdown he got, like in the back of the end zone. and he like toe tapped and like just kept going and gave the ball to a fan. I'm like, dude, you know how hard a catch that was you just made, and he stayed in bounds, but it was like no big deal to him.
I remember his rookie year. I think he was playing the Giants, and it was a penalty on the play, so they never, it was never really a celebrated play. But he made a better catch than Beckham did that year. Mm-hmm. They threw the ball. Somebody's pulling on his arm. He's falling like this, and he just reaches up, and he doesn't even catch it with his hand. He caught it with like the crook of his elbow, and it just kind of falls down. I'm like, the heck was that?
Yeah, he makes it look easy, man. He's like one of those, I guess, true kind of ballerinas playing the sport. He's just
one of those people that's like, God just makes you that way, or you just don't. You're not going to figure that out. You're just going to have to. You got to be born with that.
Like your head is really connected to your toes because he knows where. He already knew he was in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he like walked up. What? You need to look at the replay? No, man, you're in. Yeah, it's a touchdown.
I don't even need to look. I know where I'm at all times. So I just love Hopkins. And I'm going to go with Julio Jones versus the Dolphins because I know we have a good run defense, but I also know we don't have a good pass defense. And it's okay, but we're just so young at the position. We got a rookie starting.
Is he going to score a daggone touchdown at some point?
Well, what's the news out? So that's more.
He's limited. He's questionable again.
Oh,
he's becoming Julio Jones Q.
Oh man, so I like Julio this week just because of our secondary just so young and our free safety sucks.
Who do y'all have? I know you got Rashad Jones.
Yeah.
Who are your corners?
We got Tankersley.
From Clemson.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have Howard from Baylor. And he's a second year guy.
Yeah.
And
both of those are young guys.
Right. So and
I mean both of those are like 2016 guys, right?
Well,
Tankersley was last
rookie. Tankersley's a rookie, and Howard's second year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then the free safety we got from the Raiders, Nate Allen, or whatever.
Nate Allen, he's been around for a while,
and he sucks. So
there's a reason he's been on a bunch of different teams.
Yeah, because
I remember the
Walker beat him for a touchdown last week, and they just called it back over something. But
it's like 60 yards. I know.
Yeah. So he's not very good. That's why we signed McDonald, even though he's suspended. We gave him like a 3-year, $something $1 million contract.
Just whenever you get done, if you'll let us know so you can come in, because these guys.
We'll pay you right now. So I just like Julio this week. And my other receivers are Michael Thomas against the Lions.
You love that guy.
Well, he's another one that just makes it look easy. He makes it look easy, and for some reason the Lions. Oh well, okay, that can be the theme this week. Youth. Okay,
we're the two youths. Like the what?
Yeah, because it seems like the Lions always want to be in a shootout, and they join the shootout late, but they always want to be part of a shootout. So I mean, the Saints don't need a reason to be a part of a shootout. Yeah, so I
Drew Brees walks in thinking this is gonna be a shootout.
Yeah, I want to score 50 points this week. Yeah. And, he just got in the league and it's like, okay, I play receiver and I'm in the NFL. And he just got it, like, right off the bat.
Doesn't hurt that he has Drew Brees throwing the ball.
True. And they just connected, like, right off the bat. I mean,
immediately.
And I had all kind of chances to draft this dude.
Marcus Colston. Walked in the door. Hey, touchdown.
Oh man! All right, come on. What you got at receiver, man?
All right, I'm gonna go way out on a limb. I'm gonna take Jordy Nelson at Minnesota because number one, he is what you're looking for in the fantasy world. Consistent. You want to talk about? He's either going to get you 100 yards, or he's going to get you a touchdown, or both, or multiple both. So he's just what you're looking for, and their offense is super balanced. Rodgers can run. The running backs can run. Well, maybe they just run against the Cowboys because our defense sucks. But when they get down the red. Let's just say, give me their run defense and give me our pass defense. Not our pass defense sucks. But yeah, I mean, get down the red zone. He's definitely an option. They refuse to throw the ball to the tight end, so they might as well throw it to him. And he's tall and gets the job done. I love him. He's just I drafted him in a redraft league, and no complaints.
You did.
No complaints. Also, I'm taking Will Fuller against Cleveland because, crap. I mean, prove me wrong. You played 2 games and scored 4 touchdowns. So
Watson gonna throw for 500 yards. Hopkins gonna go off.
Hey, well, you got he's your money in the bank, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna make daggum sure of it. I got Hopkins and Allen and Will Allen. Fuller. Yeah. So I got Hopkins and Fuller. By the way, I'm starting them both in a dynasty league this week, and I'm.
Oh, you sure are. I saw that.
I got nothing at running back because in that league this is my life. I got Ezekiel Elliott, Greg Olsen, and OBJ. Do you need a clean it? Where's it? Toilet paper. Yeah. So I need something this week, man, because I'm having to start some clowns at running back this week. All right, and my other wide receiver is going to be Keenan Allen at Oakland. Because Phillip Rivers, like I said, he had 40 attempts a game. Crap, 12 of them go to Keenan Allen.
Right.
And they've got other guys there, but that's the one he trusts. That's his guy. And plus, while he's healthy, you got to take him. Before his knee goes out.
You never know what next week's going to hold.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if he's playing next week. I don't even know if he's going to finish this game. So while he's out there, you got to take him. So I'm taking Keenan Allen. So that's how I'm feeling on wide receiver.
Okay, so now we go to tight ends, and my money in the bank this week for tight ends, and man, it's hard. Tight ends are just
really bare this year. Extremely bare.
So, I mean, I had to go with what I know, and that's Gronk. I mean, if he healthy starting, I mean, that's just the way it is.
You can wear anything you want on your elbows and your knees. Just go out there and play, man.
So, I can't even explain it. Man, tight ends.
What do you need to really say about Gronk? I'm starting Gronk. Well, that makes sense.
And it's the Jets, and they don't like the Jets, and so they're going to try and do what they do.
The Jets right now are in the playoffs. If they started today, the Patriots would not be.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh,
the Bills would have a bye.
Oh, I think Ed did post that, but I didn't even think of
Go
the
look.
Bills.
Yeah, the Bills would have a bye.
Wow. I didn't think of the Patriots not even being on there.
They're not in there.
Oh, man.
They're not even in the playoffs right now.
So who's your money in the bank at tight end, man? We don't need to spend a lot of time.
Man, like you were saying, I was looking through the tight ends, and with bye weeks and everything considered, I'm thinking, who else is out there? Like, what are we doing here? I mean, it's been really challenging to find a tight end. And like I said, I've had a few injuries in a dynasty league, and so I've gotten a few tight ends. But crap, I'm still having trouble trying to find one to start.
Right.
I mean, it's been really bad. So I'm taking Cameron Brate at Arizona. They have. It looks like to me that they have said to OJ Howard, bro, you're gonna block this year, and we'll get you in the passing game next year. But figure this out first. We'll give you one thing at a time. And when they get down that red zone, man, it's Cameron Brate time.
Right.
He's got 3 consecutive games with the touchdowns, and Arizona's in the bottom half of the league trying to defend tight ends. That's a bad combination for them. Like you were talking about their secondary earlier.
Right.
I feel like he's going to be running down the seam for a touchdown, before the national anthem's over. So,
and I saw at the end of the game last week, I think it was when Winston went to Howard at the end, because they had to do pretty much a Hail Mary, and Howard didn't even turn around yet. Like, he was still downfield trying to block. Like, dude, no, you're going out for a route this time. Like, turn around. You're big. Yeah. I was like, dude. Even Winston was like, this guy. Like, you're not blocking
every. You like 21? Yes.
Oh, man. So, I got you, man. But, something I want to say about the tight ends is, because like you said,
it's hard to find 3.
It's hard to find 3, but if you're out there and you're doing redrafts, man, why even draft a tight end early? I mean, it's getting to the point to where it's irrelevant. Just get a guy. I mean, it's too many of them that just pop up and do enough to where why even invest in them early?
People that finish in the top 10 that weren't even a consideration on draft day.
Right. So I'm gonna just run through these other ones just quick.
Because it was hard as heck to try to find one.
So I got Fails against the Saints. For some reason, he's catching the red zone targets. Ebron is irrelevant. I guess they got tired of him dropping the ball, so he don't even throw it to him no more. Who else I got here? I got
Cameron Brate.
Yeah, I got Brate. Yeah, we talked about Brate, and then I got Walker versus the Colts.
Come on, man.
Because they receiver for some reason they just don't throw to him, and he had a big play call back last week, so it's not like he didn't produce. It's just the refs decided that play did not count because it wasn't even worth a flag. So you go ahead because I don't even want to spend time on tight ends.
The tight ends, man. It took me forever. Like I took as much time trying to find 3 tight ends as I did trying to find the other 3 positions. So I've got Gronk at the Jets for obvious reasons. He's the safest bet on tight end in a very strange tight end year. So take him, play him. If you got him, congratulations. I'm taking George Kittle at Washington. He got 9 targets last week, and Washington sucks against tight ends. They're like 30th in the league against tight ends.
I got to give my boy Ed Westbrook another shout out. I talked about him earlier. But I didn't even know who this guy existed. To me and Ed, we do a league together, and he talked this guy up, from the beginning. And I'm just like, man, I love you, I appreciate you. And I had to steal some of his knowledge in my other leagues. Yeah, but he knew about this guy like right off the bat. And
I listened to a podcast about the called The Draft Show that the Cowboys do, and they don't just cover Cowboy needs, they're just covering people in the draft. And so I knew a lot about Kittle, and these guys were really, they were talking about, he's like the most well-rounded tight end. He's not going to go very high, but I'm telling you, this guy's a player. And so I had heard of him, and I knew about him. I didn't draft him in any league, though. My last tight end is Jordan Reed versus San Francisco, because this son of a gun he's doubtful more than he's questionable. Right. And so while he's healthy, to me, he is just an athletic freak, a nightmare to try to defend. He might even look good in his uniform. I don't even know. You'll have to ask him. But San Francisco is the best in the league versus tight ends. But crap, this dude's a mismatch, a matchup nightmare. So I think he's healthy. Play him.
Roll with it.
I told you Cousins going to do good, so let him have it. All right, so who's we got? That's money in the bank. Who's going in the tank? Who's going to suck this week? Who's going to kill? Who's people going to be mad at on Monday?
Okay, Eli at the Broncos. He has nobody to throw to. That's the easy one. So I don't see him doing very good.
Incomplete.
Let me see. I got Jones. Who the Packers playing?
The Vikings.
The Vikings.
The Vikings.
At the Vikings. And if anything, the Vikings can stop the run. They got a defense. He's a young guy. He's a rookie. And that's the theme this week. But
I'll tell you why.
I just don't feel him.
I'll tell you why.
What?
He's not playing the Cowboy defense this week.
Oh, that's what it is. I didn't write that part. Okay, let me put an asterisk right
Cowboys
there.
will put anybody in the Pro Bowl.
He's the guy right now, but I'm just saying cautious. Back
Ty's
up,
coming
calm
back.
down.
Watch.
Right,
Jamal's getting healthier.
Yeah,
Splitting carries. Watch.
And for receiver is Maury Cooper against the Chargers.
What the heck has happened to him?
I don't know. Maybe it'll come out what the problem is. But Carr is playing, so maybe. But it ain't like he was doing nothing. Carr was there.
Carr will get hurt.
Okay.
Carr will get that injury that he got, the transverse process thing. That's the same thing Romo had and kept him out half the year. This guy's gonna come back in 2 weeks.
Yeah,
he's gonna get hurt.
But I guess they see how bad they are without him, so they trying to. I don't know. Maybe
I didn't think EJ Manuel was that bad.
He actually wasn't too bad. He showed.
He's a black quarterback that didn't run, Jay.
Yeah, yeah. He actually didn't do too bad. I apologize to that guy for that. Whenever he watched this, he'll see my apology. Yeah. Okay, and then I talked about Ebron for the if you starting him, I don't know why, because he's just.
Where has he gone?
Man, I just remember this guy coming out of UNC, and he was supposed to be the next Gates. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just going to be great, but it's something about playing
like 10th overall or something, right?
It was crazy, but it's something about playing receiving tight end. You have to know how to catch. It's part of that position.
That's what Cooper's not doing.
Right. Yeah, he's another one that's dropping the ball. And then it don't take much if you're if you're an elite quarterback, you're not putting up with that.
Because on third down, if you don't catch it, you're off the field.
So that's one down. You're not getting the target.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So those are my tank. I really kept going to the tank. We switched this up today.
Like 5 minutes before we started. Like, hey, I said I changed this to Money in the Bank, and he's like, oh, I like that. We can make the other one rhyme if you want. And he's like, man, I don't know. It's like going in the tank or something. He goes, there you go, right there. Put that down. Write that down. There you go.
Get used to that. Going in the tank.
Right, going in the tank.
Don't mind what you looking like.
All right. I already told you, man. Derek Carr. He's going to get hurt. You can't come back from that crap in 2 weeks. And so he's playing against the Chargers, who aren't known for dominating defense. Or, I mean, they can rush the pass.
Right. And that's why he gets
Bosa
hurt.
knows what he's doing.
Right.
That's why he's getting hurt. But yeah, I don't think that's going to go well.
Right.
And shock of all shocks, Jay, keep your seat, please. But I'm going to take an old running back for going in the tank. Marshawn Lynch against the Chargers. I'm making the Chargers look like the daggum steel curtain over here. It's the 85 Bears. But they are bad against the run. They're not very good.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy's had less than 100 yards rushing total in the last 3 weeks.
And he get a pass. It's like
Total.
All he got to do is do one beast mode kind of play, and it's like beast mode, 56 yards though. But man, that one play when he just ran through one guy.
Least mode is what they meant to say. This guy is running for 20 and 30 yards a game. I told y'all at the beginning of the year.
Right.
Stay away from them old guys, man. Wide receiver. I should know this one very well because I drafted this piece of crap as my third wide receiver in a redraft league. But Golden Tate at New Orleans. Okay? At New Orleans. Okay? Now, New Orleans used to be like, you look for New Orleans, play whoever they're playing. Okay? The Dolphins found out you can't do that. He's had no big games this year. I know that sucked. That was mean, right? That was mean.
That was uncalled for.
That was uncalled for. But they got shut out. That's the first time they shut somebody out in 5 years. But he hasn't had any big games this year. No 2 touchdowns, no 150 yards, nothing. And he's not really scoring touchdowns. And to me, their offense looks like it's maybe Jim Bob Cooter out there is not doing what he needs to do. I just love to say that guy's name. But Jim Bob Cooter's offense is a little bit out of sync right now. I think they've got some weapons. They've got Abdullah running the ball. They've got Tate. And the first game, I thought Galladay was going to be the next, Megatron out there, running around like crazy. But
I think he might play this week. So he's been hurt. So
but even with the next week, he was gone. It's kind of like, all right, thank you for catching 2 touchdowns last week. You're officially out of our offense. We're sick of that bullhorn. So I'm taking Golden Tate. And then the last one is Kyle Rudolph against the Packers. They're second versus tight ends, which isn't saying much because they played us, and we don't. We throw so the tight end gets 6 yards of yak. But he's not been right since Keenum's been in there as far as fantasy production. Last year, he was a steal if you got that guy late in the redraft. Because he was scoring with the elites last year, but this year, and I was like, somebody stole him in the auction for like $12 million or something like that. I'm like, good gravy, that is cheap. But yeah, he's been really off of his game this year, and the Packers know how to defend the tight end. So I think those are the guys that are going to be going in the tank this week. We'll put them in a tank with Nemo. So. All right, now, we are obviously big Tombstone fans. Yeah. We'll quote that in a second. So this segment is sponsored by Mr. Trayvon Thompson, who...
This guy, he actually came up with it.
Yeah.
And I want to rename it because he'll tell me, like, Dad, I'm thinking about skinning, was it Fuller the first week? Mm-hmm. And then last week it was Hoyer. I'm like... Come on, man.
Yeah, come on, dog. You can't be making us look bad on our own show.
Well, no, when he says it, I'm like, okay, I thought you knew fantasy, but Hoyer, man, please, really? And wow, this guy.
You thought for a minute he was the guy showing up with the horse outfit on. I got the wrong message. Yeah. All right. So our skin it. We're going to skin that smoke wagon, jerk that pistol, and go to work. Okay. So who's your skin it for this week? The guy that not on anybody's radar, but might do well anyway.
You know what? I don't even know this dude what number he is. And matter of fact, I kept calling him Chad Lewis or Roger Lewis or something. But it's Roger. That's his name.
Roger.
Okay.
His name is Roger.
Roger Lewis. The only, I guess they only gonna do like one receiver set. So
they had one wide receiver at the end of the game. Not one wide receiver in that formation. One wide receiver that was available to play football by the end of that game.
So it's like the Giants gonna come out 3 tight end set with one receiver. That's like their base formation this week. But he's the only guy. I don't know much about him. I've been trying to do some.
You don't
research.
have to know anything. He's the only one they got.
Right, and I actually went and picked him up. I traded for him. I mean, I'm hurting that bad at receiver. So
he's the only wide receiver that's been on that team more than a week.
Wow.
So why wouldn't he catch the ball?
Yeah. So I'm skinning it this week. I'm gonna skin it. Roger Lewis. I'm telling you, man. I kept calling him Chad Lewis, and I'm like, Chad Lewis.
Chad Lewis won you a championship at some point. He actually won me a championship one time because I picked him up instead of letting you have him in the Texas Circle back 100 years ago.
We're showing our fantasy years now.
Yeah, some of those guys are like, man, that was a long time ago. Jack.
Oh, they're like Chad Lewis, who?
Yeah.
Okay, but so who you skin? Who you gonna skin it this week, man?
Man, we're gonna skin it with Kevin Hogan, the Cleveland Browns quarterback. I'm taking a Cleveland quarterback. Okay, that is skinning it right there. But when he came in last week, their offense looked like an offense. They can move the ball. They just need somebody under center. Okay, so maybe Isaiah Crowell will wake up. Who knows?
Johnson been doing decent fantasy-wise, right?
Yeah, because he's catching 10 times a game. Because they're always behind. They get the running game and the running back in there. They can catch the ball. All right, so we're gonna skin Roger Lewis and Kevin Hogan. If you're completely out of options, go pick these guys up. I guarantee you they're on the waiver wire, so go get them and slap them in there. See what happens, man. Strategy tip for this week. What's going through your mind? What can you help them with as far as strategy goes?
Well, my strategy is what the theme of this podcast is.
Easier said than done.
Is young talent. I mean, it's been seen. Yeah, I mean, I give you that. Young talent, especially at the running back position, is
so he takes Adrian Peterson as one of his top plays.
But it's real. I mean, you're right. The young talent. I mean, we've seen it with Hunt, Fournette, Jones last week. We got, Cook before he got hurt. I mean, these young guys they're not playing around. Yeah, Matt came in and said, "I belong." So just think about a dynasty league when you can name that many rookie running backs. So y'all
trade back, pick up picks.
But it just shows, because we got a lot of listeners that's in dynasty leagues with us. Is picks matter, man. Picks matter.
Y'all wonder why when you call me for a trade and go, "Hey, give me a second round pick," and I'm like, "No." Come up with something else. I'll give you some money or something. Give me a player. You're not getting my picks. If I give you a pick, I have given you something.
Yeah, man. So my strategy is this young talent. Whenever it's a decision, you know what? This go with the young guy. Why not? So what's your strategy this week?
You can never, ever have too much depth. Don't let anybody come to you and say, "Oh man, you got plenty of wide receivers. Trade me one." Unless you need something and they got it, no.
Right.
Because what happened to the Giants will happen to your fantasy team. Go look at your bench right now and see how many IRs you see. Okay?
Dynasty guys, yeah.
Especially Dynasty, because we have a few extra players. We have 26 on our roster, 2 practice squad and 1 IR. Yeah. But that's not the only person on IR.
I know, right?
Everybody's got like 3 guys on IR on their bench. Then you got bye weeks, and there's more. The bye weeks there's fewer of them, and they're closer in the middle of the season. Right. So it's almost hard to feel the team sometimes. These weeks 6 through 11.
Man, I dropped the guy that's on, because we got the IR spot. Mm-hmm. Last night, I dropped the guy on IR just so I can make a spot for a guy to go on IR.
This guy's he's only on the temporary IR. I need somebody on there that's going to be permanent. I need somebody committed to it.
Man, so you're right.
I've had to do that. I've had to take guys that are like, "Oh, this guy's coming back. I'm getting him off of there. I'm going to put this other guy on there. He's gone. His leg's falling off. He's never coming back." So, yeah, definitely. So, we're about a quarter away through the season. They play 17 weeks. We're at 5.
Oh.
So we're going to do some quarter season awards, and just kind of see like, all right, where are we NFL wise? We're not worried about fantasy, but where are we NFL wise? So talk to me on your awards for this year.
Man, I see. I don't. You had put this, but I didn't know how you were gonna go about with it.
Sure.
Did I? Okay. I put this. I mean, I was supposed to. Well, you know what? I better not say that. I was at work and I was doing that, and I thought I wrote it on a piece of paper, but I did put it on here. Okay.
He wasn't at work working on this. That was a joke. Nobody at Walmart watches this, right? He wasn't doing that. Don't worry about it.
Oh man.
He was on his break.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. I had work on my break.
On his break,
right.
Jerks.
But as a team, I put the Chiefs. I mean, they're undefeated. I can't go wrong with that. As quarterback, Brady. I mean, he's defying time. He's still. I mean, the record,
Really?
but this fantasy wise, he's on fire. Hunt, running back. Went with Hunt. He's just. I mean, when is he gonna come down to earth? Hopkins, we talked about it already. Most targets, and he's taking advantage of it. When it comes to tight end, I love Kelsey. I mean, we know Gronk, but then he's missing games, so Kelsey been more consistent, and I mean, he can dance, right?
Don't act surprised that white people can dance, man.
And he can't wait to do it, man. I just love that guy. But and he's a white guy that gets in trouble on the field. So and coach, I'm going with Andy Reid, man. They showed a little the game Thursday night, I think, and they showed this tree kind of thing. Like, you know, they used to do that with like Parcells, and you know what I'm saying? Like if to do that with him and to see that, I mean, it just shows like what was the Eagles thinking? Like sometimes you get complacent.
Yeah,
you just
you do, but I think
it was time for a change.
I think there becomes a time where that same message. When you're in college, you're getting a new like Saban. He says the same crap all the time.
But it's new people.
But it's he's running people through there every 3 years, so it doesn't matter. But with in the NFL, I do think they're
stale.
It's like, man, it's just like it's like the Buccaneers.
Oh,
you know when Dungy was there, it's not that Dungy was a bad coach. It was just time, man. Like you can only do so much, you know. So they bring in Gruden.
If me and you fans and we watch the press conferences and we already know what the coach going to say, imagine what the players go through. It's like okay.
Exactly. Like sometimes they ask questions in press conferences. I'm like, I can answer that for you. I can already tell you. He's gonna take it day by day. Like I can tell you right now.
What were your awards, man?
All right, awards wise, I went with like NFL type awards. So I went MVP. I went Kareem Hunt MVP because it doesn't have to be a quarterback. Does not have to be a quarterback. Last year Zeke should have won it. This year Hunt should win it so far if he keeps that crap up. He's killing it. He's just killing it, and he's killing me because I could have drafted that guy. It kills me. NFC Offensive Player of the Year. I'm taking Todd Gurley. I think he's really come alive under Sean McVay. He's looking great. Looking like he's just like I love when it's like everything looks like it's just gelling. Everything looks like it's just really a perfect fit. And he really looks like a nice fit for that offense. AFC Offensive Player of the Year. I'm taking Alex Smith. He's been, I know Hunt's helped him, but I think he's helped Hunt. He's spreading the ball around. You see Albert Wilson pop up now and then. You got Travis Kelce. You got Tyreek Hill. You know, you got Kareem Hunt. I mean, he's like, hey, he's like running like an option quarterback almost.
And I think that's Trey Skinnett this week. Wilson. Because he said,
Albert Wilson?
I said for last name Wilson, first name Charlie. He started laughing, so he got it. I was like, okay, man, you know, with the music. But go ahead. But yeah, that's his this week. Go.
All right. Defensive Player of the Year. This is going to come as probably a surprise, just because it is a Cowboy and our defense sucks. But DeMarcus Lawrence, he's done some stuff numbers wise that has been incredible. Multiple sacks in the first 3 games. I think there's only been 3 other people in history that have done that or something like that. And then he's got a sack in every single game. Last year the team leader had 6. He's got 8.5 in 5 games. Like, okay, you showed up. And then for my Rookie of the Year, I took Deshaun Watson, even though he's a black quarterback that runs. I like him. He's played really well. He's made all the people that traded all that stuff to move up ahead of him to take somebody else look really stupid. Coach-wise, I'm going to take another coach that I really like. It's Todd Bowles. He's been around the league, and he's done a great job defensively. And if you can put the Jets in the playoffs and knock the Patriots out, you're doing something.
This week would tell a lot.
Yeah. So I just like Todd Bowles as a person. I like him as a coach, and I think he's done a great job with a team that a lot of people thought were going to be tanking so they can get a good quarterback. Crap, they're in the playoffs.
Nobody told him that.
Yeah, hey, this is the NFL.
Yeah. Hello. You play to win the game.
You play. Hello. And my
kidding me?
Yeah, my other two mentions, the other two considerations at Coach of the Year were Sean McVay and Sean McDermott. I guess I like the name Sean. I don't know. But
see, I had a lot of
McDermott
mentions I wanted to put, but I didn't.
McDermott and McVay walked into situations where they had
bleak, to say the least,
chicken poo-poo to work with, and they're making some chicken salad around there. So that's good. Good for them, and they're doing a great job. All right, we're going to move on to a little session here that we're going to try to keep score. We're going to kind of compete. I made them, but I haven't really thought about what my answers are, so we're going off the cuff, and it's just going to be more or less. Okay, more or less for a particular player, and number of points or production or whatever it is. Okay, so we're going to start with Deshaun Watson, and I'll let you go first on this one. I'll go first on this on the second one, but more or less than 2.5 total touchdowns.
Okay, well, we already got Hopkins and Fuller in the Hall of Fame for this week, so I'm gonna go more.
I'm gonna agree and go more.
All right.
So there that is. And then Tom Brady, more or less than 300 yards against the Jets.
I'm going to go more because they don't even want to run the ball. So I'm going to go more.
I'm going to take less because they always play ugly division games against the Jets.
They do.
So I'm gonna take less.
I think he's a little banged up a little bit too, I think.
Yeah, he's been on the injury report every year, every week his whole career. So don't give me that non-throwing shoulder bull crap. All right, Todd Gurley, more or less than 120 yards.
And they playing who? The Vikings?
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville, okay. I'm going to go less. Because he gets his fantasy points now in other facets. He catches the ball a lot more now. So I'm going to say less.
Okay. I will say... I'm going to say more because I took him as one of my top plays. I'm going to say more. Mm-hmm. All right. Leonard Fournette, more than 1.5 touchdowns this week. More or less.
More. Because, young is the theme. Rookie is the theme this week. So I'm going to go more. He's a beast, man. He looked like LSU last week, man. He was... Go ahead, man.
He ran away from defensive backs in the NFL. 240 pounds.
So I'm going to say more. And you keeping track of all this, right?
It's on the video.
All right. Because you want to take score, now it's real.
Yeah.
So
all right, we'll have a scoring update next week. I'm going to agree, and I'm going to take more as well. All right, DeAndre Hopkins, more or less than 10 targets this week.
I'm going to say less, for the simple fact that I think they're going to get up early, run the ball, and he actually sharing the targets now with Fuller. So, and really Fuller don't need a lot of targets to do what he do.
I'm going to change this to 9.5 because otherwise because he could tie.
Okay, Vegas.
I don't want it to tie.
What did something happen? I
don't want it to tie because if I say I don't want to both be wrong. You know what I mean? One of us needs to be right.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'll take more.
Oh, okay.
So I'll take more. That way we're different. Okay, I'll take more than 9.5 targets this week. Nelson, Jordy Nelson, 1.5 touchdowns, more or less.
Less.
I'm gonna agree. He's had a couple of touchdowns a few weeks, so I'm gonna agree and say less. Gronk, more or less than 75 yards. We both took him.
I'm gonna say more. Brady, I got Brady throwing for 300, so you got to go to somebody.
I love Gronk this week, but I think it's going to be for touchdowns, not for yards. I'm gonna take less. Be different. All right.
Don't get in trouble trying to go against me now. Because you're supposed to go first sometimes, right? See?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
See,
So you go first this time.
See, this is why we're doing it like this right now, man. Because we're all jacked up. All right,
you get to go first.
I'm going first, Jay. All right, jerk. All right, Jordan Reed, more or less than, let's go 5.5. That way we can be right or wrong.
You did come up with this, right?
Hey man, shut up. All right, so more or less than 5.5 catches. I'm gonna take. They got Crowder. They got Pryor. Man, I wish they had Doxson. Piece of crap. I'm gonna take.
I know where you're going.
I'm gonna take less.
I'm gonna take less too. Because when we look at it, because I've actually been looking at him, he just, I don't know, it ain't been going to him. He ain't been getting that many. So
okay,
I'm going less.
All right, we're both going less on Jordan Reed. Okay, we're gonna go for. What is your moment of really this week? What is your really?
Okay. I'm going to talk to this guy named Eli Manning. I hope you're listening. I hope you actually... Elijah. Really? You heard me fantasize about this Ingram guy all last week. I know you watched this, and you heard what I said. And this dude don't even get a catch.
He got 4 targets, though.
0 catch. When you had me and Russell running routes, and this dude still don't... I know,
he's the only guy you had.
So maybe the whole defense just went on him and we didn't know it or something. It was like, oh, Ingram goes out. He got 4 guys covering him. But really? 0 catches? Really? Go ahead, man.
All right. My really is for the 5th Circuit Court of Appeals. Really, man?
Oh.
You going to take Ezekiel Elliott away from me at this point right now? Really? It's like they don't even know we're in this dynasty league and that I need him to win.
Right.
It's like they don't even know.
And some redrafts took him like number 1 and number 2 overall and stuff.
Yeah, they're acting like
really, guys, y'all need to get together.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Come on, man. They're acting like they don't even know we got teams. Bunch of jerks. Okay, so hopefully the NFLPA will appeal the appeal of the appeal's appeal,
right?
And then we'll get back to playing
money.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you broke, when the court says something, that's it.
Nobody cares. Yeah, yeah. We're gonna put you in prison now. I'd like to appeal. We're gonna put you in prison now.
Oh, you work at Walmart?
Yeah.
Okay, well,
ball guy, prison now. Go find you a man. All right. Now, what is your? That's what I'm talking about for this week.
Man, the run that Fournette had to seal the game, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. And see, man, that's the perfect example of they started feeding him the ball.
That's what happens in the second half.
A big back like him, man, it trips me out from watching football. And when it's a big, because it happened in that game, Fournette came through the hole and a safety came up and hit him, and Fournette, he tackled him, but Fournette just destroyed him. No, but the thing is, you know when somebody ran you over when you get up talking trash. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brown said, bam, knock him down. He get up, yeah, shoot, yeah.
Don't come back here, please.
Yeah, so whenever you see somebody jump up after they got trucked, it hurt. Okay, they just try to play it off, and if they don't get up, it really hurt. You know what I'm saying? But the run he made at the end tells that nobody else wanted to get hit, and that's what I'm talking about.
And he didn't get caught.
Right. So that combine speed was real.
Yeah, they made a big deal about that combine. They ran just as fast as Cook did, man. Give me a break.
And how fresh it was. I mean, it's like,
yeah, man.
It wasn't like he had 25. Like he was like, what else? Well, how many more carries you want? I'm young. The theme of the week. Go ahead.
Boom. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm talking about. Is the Bears 2-point conversion? Did you see it?
Oh man,
that is what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about. You never see anybody double handoff, flip it back to the quarterback, and the defense looking there pulling their jocks up and everything, I mean, you never see that.
That was, man, I didn't
even see it live.
Oh, I saw it on YouTube, and I had to rewind that thing like 3 times because I was lost. Like, what happened? Like, how did this dude get the ball and like, man, that's what I'm talking about.
Back up tight end, flick it to the quarterback.
Man, that was beautiful.
You never get to see it. You see that crap in high school, but you don't ever
Right.
get to see it in the NFL.
Yeah.
And it's really cool when it works.
Right. And man, not a lot, but the NFL is bringing some of them concepts.
It's
slowly, but every little bit.
leaking in. You know who used to do that all the time? Tom Landry. At least one time a game, he'd run like a double reverse
kind of
pass or whatever.
Make sure everybody doing their
just
keys.
so you're thinking all the time. And I like that thinking as a coach. If I was coaching, we would run trick plays once a half. Man, it just makes line up in a weird formation. Like why's the guard over there? Like it's just something. Make you think.
Right.
You don't have to prepare for a lot on film if you play us.
And especially if you a good coach and like, man, they outside linebacker makes mistakes. So we're gonna draw up a play that if he gets wrong, it's gonna be big. That's coaching right there. And I'm telling you, man, I had to look at that a couple of times and be like, how did this dude get the ball? Like,
why would they not be around the quarterback?
Yeah, so I feel that one. That was tight.
All right, we ready for some game time? It's fantasy game time.
Let's do this.
So let's do game time on game time.
All right, what you got, man?
The game this week, he hates this. The game this week is fill in the blank.
Okay.
All right, fill in the blank. All right, you ready? If Hunt doesn't
win the Super Bowl this year, that's the blank. Okay, go ahead.
That's a bunch of blank. If Kareem Hunt doesn't lead the league in rushing, blank will. If Kareem Hunt doesn't lead the league in rushing, blank will.
Rookie theme. I'm going with Fournette.
Woo!
Man, I saw what I saw at LSU last week. So, Fournette is the
Todd
blank.
Gurley.
All right.
He's doing a great job in that offense. We're going to see what happens. All right. Blank has already had his best quarter of the seasons, and hard times are ahead. Blank has already had his best quarter of the season, and hard times are ahead.
The New York Jets. They're gonna come back to reality.
You're taking a whole team?
The whole team. Get on the bus. All of y'all. Coming back to reality. I don't see because it happens every year. Was it the Vikings was like 5-0 or something last year?
6-0.
Yeah, and then don't make the playoffs. So just how
and the writing was on the wall too. It wasn't like they were like, oh man, they almost made it.
But it's like, how we can say it's the playoffs going to change by 2 teams every year, like the division wise, the conference wise. This is one too. It's always that a couple of teams that start out hot don't make the playoffs, and then it's always a couple of teams. I don't see the Giants doing it this year, but that start out bad and make the playoffs. So,
like the Cowboys.
There you go. I'm
saying
the
I'm
Jets.
smelling 8-8. I'm gonna take.
Did you answer the last one?
Yeah, I said Todd Gurley.
Oh, you did. Okay.
I'm gonna take Trevor Siemian. I think his little foray into fantasy relevance has been fun for him and probably his family members and stuff like that. But I think they may end up having to draft another quarterback because Lynch apparently is not the guy, and I don't think Siemian is. So
they got Mark Sanchez. Go ahead. I know that. Who knows? I don't think he's the third.
I don't think they have him anymore. I think he's on Chicago.
Oh, that's where he went. Okay, but Pete Carroll begged this dude not to go into the NFL. Like, dude, please, I'm your coach. I'm being straight up. Don't do it, man.
Should listen. All right, Blank is ready to make a difference in fantasy season. Like, what player is getting ready to start?
Getting ready, or like now
he's ready to start. Like, okay, this guy's fixing to start killing it.
Okay, tell me if you accept this answer. I want to say Watson.
Deshaun Watson?
That he's a number one, like he's a start every week now.
Put him out there.
Right. Like, in Dynasty we have rookies and it's like, okay, feel them, is it? But he is a guy now that you must start.
Put him in there.
You got to start him and let the rest quarterbacks just sit there and deal with it. So
Okay.
I'm thinking
Yeah, I'll take that.
he's here and he ain't going nowhere for a while.
Okay, I'll take that. Ready to make a difference in fantasy season. Somebody we can count on from now on. How about not an old running back?
Man, I
think,
want
I think
honorable mention. Go ahead.
I think
because I want to get on your nerves.
I think maybe Marlon Mack might be ready to do something in fantasy football.
Another
this
rookie,
year.
huh? Okay.
Marlon Mack looked pretty good last week, and that's the first game he's played since like the first or second game. So, I like him. I'm glad he's on my RFL team and starting this week. All right. If there was someone I'd be rushing to go acquire, it'd be this guy, blank.
Rushing to go acquire?
Yeah, you want to try to go get him because this guy's finna start doing it.
Ingram, tight end for the Giants.
Oh, gosh. Janice, he really loves you. He loves you. This man loves you. Hey,
But,
man of God.
I tried last night because I don't know who has him in the UFC, but I came up with every way to try to get this guy. Oh, man. I think I was talking to AJ, Al last night, and I didn't put him in it because I didn't want to disrespect him, but I wanted him, but I can't. I got Witten, I got Kittles, I got like 9 tight ends. What his name is?
Skittles is his name, Jay. His name is Skittles. It's Skittles. That's the man's name.
Well, him, and I went and picked up Dixon that we get out, but I'm like, but I just want him. But I'm like, I got good tight ends. I got rookie. I got the rookie from the Rams, Everett. They've been showing a little something. So I have no reason at all to get a tight end, but I just want him on my team. So, all right, I'm gonna digress.
Right,
but yeah, that's my guy, man. If I could, I want him. So now you know, Al, you can first round pick. It's like, I'll take it. All right, let's go. What you got?
I haven't thought about this at all. Somebody I'd be rushing to go acquire. I go back to. I guess if we're talking redraft leagues, I'd go back to the one that you picked on the first one, Deshaun Watson. I mean, the second one. No, wait. The third one. Oh, man, I'm all jacked up. But
you did come up with this, right?
I did come up with it, but I didn't prepare. It's not any good if you prepare. You know, you gotta. It's a game. I'll go with Deshaun Watson because, like you said, he's like forget rookie, forget dynasty. This guy's just a fantasy football player now. That'd be somebody that I'd be breaking doors down to go get if I were you. So that's what I'm thinking there.
I like that, man. That was good.
Yeah. So a little fill in the blank for you there. Game time on Game Time, but that is it as far as our time for today. We're
this pink slip it, man.
You want to?
Yeah, this pink slip because I want to say this guy.
Okay.
Man.
All right. So I had an idea this week, and Jay went ahead and ran with it because he's just Jay. And you're not. But we may have a segment next week called the pink slip. Like who's ready? Who's like cuttable? Who's cut worthy? Who's ready to go ahead and just put him out to pasture
and cut him. You know, because sometimes you cut somebody, be like, man, if he start going off, I'm gonna feel bad. There you go. I don't want to call myself stupid, but yeah. But you know what? My pink slip this week is Jonathan Stewart. And I don't care if you do start going off. I could care less. Okay, calm down, Jay. I drafted your behind as a rookie, and you came out and then went to nothingness. And then I keep trying to give I keep trying to give you a chance at least to say you're a touchdown guy. But then after watching you, I mean, McCaffrey is just, why are you here? You know what I'm saying? So
for -4 yards rushing that he got for my team this week, Jay.
So you know what, dude? You're fired. You know, you pink slip. You're out. I don't care if he comes back and rush for 10 touchdowns. I wouldn't feel bad. You're done. I'm cutting this dude. So what you got? You know, and I'm gonna tell you what else I didn't like.
Let me tell you why else I hate this guy.
It was even he knows it. I was watching the game and like he'll come in for a play, and with the play over, he automatically look to the sideline like, "Oh, okay, I'm coming out."
I'm not distracted, right? Okay, good.
Like, dude, I mean, I
Bring
guess
the white guy in, man. They're killing people over here.
yeah. So even he knows, like, I'm in for a few plays and that's it. Like, he can't just go back to the huddle. He don't have that right. You run this play. When it's over, you look over here. You look at me. You understand? Yes, sir. All right. He was like antsy, like, okay, I don't want to miss it because I might get less plays. Yeah. So Jonathan Stewart, you know what, dude?
Trying to find a way to the sideline.
I done gave you chances after chance, man. I'm done, man. Pink slip.
Pink slip for you.
Yeah.
This is sad because these are two of the top 3 running backs I drafted in the RFL, but I'm giving a pink slip to Isaiah Crowell. This dude has chosen to not play football this year. Right. He's like, you know what?
Because
screw y'all.
We always blame other stuff besides him. We'll say, man, it's the Browns.
It's the line,
yeah, they always behind, and but
no, this guy sucks. Like, no, you really actually suck, man. You're not gonna make it. So we're gonna give it. Now, mind you, these are two of the top 3 running backs I drafted in my redraft league. So.
Wow. Man, sorry to hear that.
We just gave him the pink slip.
Yeah, you need to talk to the owner.
Yeah, maybe we should talk to that coach. Yeah, the GM. He sucks. But yeah, so that's it, man. We're done for this week. So hopefully week 6 will go well for you, and we'll be kicking off a little early for week 7. So get your questions in. Fantasy_Gametime at Twitter. Fantasy One Gametime on YouTube. Hit us up. But until then, be blessed and be a blessing.
And do not let your love for fantasy football and the NFL be greater than your love for Jesus Christ.
Word.
Amen.
Amen and amen. Word
right,
to your
good
mamas.
luck.